I mean, there are a lot of people who get nervous the first time they do really well in a tournament, things like that.
You get on camera, you have people talking about you. Yeah.
I mean, to like not only be, you know, your EXO that deep in a tournament, but also be like, well, now I'm also being broadcast on the internet in front of
tons of people, and I've never played this deck before, and like, you know,
like, oh my gosh, my stomach is doing flips.
I just signed up because I thought this would be fun. Now this is terrible. I just feel like that could happen. Yeah. So okay, in the matchup, Joe Bernal, obviously with his own just deck list, a little bit. What would you say? He's probably the slower deck of the two, correct? He's adopting. He's adopting the control role. The longer this game goes on, the better it is for Joe.
I agree.
He has Jace.
Very much so.
Okay. What do you want? Opening hand first turn 2. You got to have a play, right? What do you want?
Stoneforge Mystic.
Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. Remember, just getting GTA is the only thing you can get. No Batter Skull.
I'm fine with that. You have Lingering Souls and Bitter Blossom.
I feel like I'd want the Bitter Blossom.
They're both so good. Bitter Blossom's probably better, you're right.
I feel like he wants to buy time. The thing with Maverick, it doesn't really overload really well. There's some aggro decks that, like, they get 2 creatures down. Alright, that's scary. By the time they get 4 down, it's terrifying. I don't think Maverick falls into that category. All their creatures are kind of
attacking with one dude at a time.
More Grizzly Bears. Alright, more Grizzly Bears, that's fine. You know, Joe should be able to press someone.
Knight is an impressive gentleman, but...
Yeah, that's true.
Or lady.
So he's going to have to answer our heroine, Knight of the Reliquary. Alright. So, but outside of that, so he's got to kill the Knight of the Reliquaries, make sure those don't resolve. Other than that, it shouldn't be too difficult for him. I mean, he has to stabilize. He has 2 Liliana of the Veil, the pretty good cards there. Just so you know, Joe Bernal on 7, Joshua Snider on the draw, mulliganing to 6 here.
Yeah. Post board, Joe Bernal has Perish, pretty good here.
Definitely, Joe. Yeah, that's an excellent card here.
Pretty impressive against type of deck. And
okay, yeah. So out of the board, this matchup to get probably better for Bernal. Bernal, remember, also has 2 Zealous Persecution in the main. Those
pretty good against Mother of Runes.
Yeah, Mother of Runes, Thalia, Noble
Ranger.
Hierarch, Scrib Ranger. I mean, Pro Blue, not okay. It means Jace can't bounce it, I guess. But even Mind Sensor. I think what Joe has to watch out for, Scavenging Ooze, I think is one of the really strong cards out of Josh Snider in this matchup.
Oh, definitely.
Bernal does not have any. I mean, he has 4 Swords to Plowshares as actual removal.
Like STP is about as good as it gets.
Yeah, I was gonna say he didn't have any actual removal, but then I had to renege on that. I like Bernal in this matchup, as I think he's got to have. The problem is he only has 2 Mystics and 4 Bitter Blossoms.
4 Confidant.
You know, but Confidant, if I'm Snider, I think I can win through Confidant. In the sense of, I mean,
maybe.
You know,
I mean, it's strange. So
it's not the turn 2 play I'm scared of.
Going back to, I mean, you mentioned Scrib Ranger before. I'm sorry, I just want to go back to it really quick. I feel like that card was well positioned when everybody was attacking with Vendilion Clicks and Spellstutter Sprites and Snapcaster Mages, but now the threats are green again.
Yeah,
it just doesn't seem like that's where you want to be.
Bernal leads off on Marsh Flats, no fetch off it. Horizon Canopy taking 1 for Snider, probably leading into our favorite human Dryad. And it is the Dryad, human, shaman, human something.
Yes,
not an elf.
Hierarch.
Not an elf.
Not an elf.
Just being swamp.
Human druid?
Just a druid. I think that meant, yeah, it's a druid. Alright. Bernal, and we saw this before, aggressively fetching basic lands, which is great. As we know, Maverick is I believe is a 4 wasteland deck. No reason to really get too fancy. Bernal's and he has one of his best turn 2 plays here. I can't see him making any other play. He's got a Mystic in his hand. So remember his Mystic, there's no Batter Skull package in here. It just gets Umas. He just has 2 Umas out as GTA and only 2 Stoneforge Mystics in the deck too.
I was actually talking to him a bit about that.
Yeah, so what do you have to say?
He just thinks Jit is just, like, he wants it. He never really wants to get anything but Jit. That's his reasoning. I was like, man, I get Batter Skull like 90% of the time when I play blue-white.
Yeah, what if he played against the Burn player? You know, no Batter Skull. I mean, Jit's good. It has a life gain spell on it, but it's no Batter Skull.
Yeah.
All right, he was debating between dropping a dual land and cracking another fetch land. he went with the fetch hand that looks like a full art flooded strand. No, not flooded, just a flooded strand. It just seemed weird from an angle.
Regular
Sorry
old
about
flooded
that.
strand.
Regular old
Nice
flooded
little
strand. It's
signed
signed. All right.
Mine's stamped from one of my first Grand Prix.
Wow, that's
cool.
a while ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he
Bitter
goes for
Blossom.
Bitter Blossom. Okay, so he had the option Mystic and Bitter Blossom. Went with Bitter Blossom. This is gonna be. He has both the cards, which are really scary here. All right, Kasali Pride Mage cast, Wasteland. Yeah, blow up the Bitter Blossom. Absolutely.
Seems completely reasonable to me.
And once again, I love how Bernal's fetching all these basics here. Fetch for a third time, Bernal at 17. Josh Snider at 18, taking a couple points off his Horizon Canopy, but not really relevant. The Bernal life total, I think, is really what this is about. Yeah, so Bernal down to 17, getting second Swamp.
I don't know if I agree with not getting like a UC or a Tundra there. Just
Well,
the redraw value.
he has
Jace
blue
is...
in his. He has one blue source in his hand, but you mean in case he draws Jace?
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see. Could see Souls. Could see Liliana show up here. Yep, Liliana. Looks like an altered Liliana.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, it's gonna get the Noble Hierarch. Very strong from. I think Bernal. His opening hand just seemed excellent. Bitter Blossom, Liliana, Stoneforge.
I mean, these are the cards he plays.
Yeah, these. I mean, that's one of the best parts. He said his deck is a little greedy, but like every card in his deck is so good.
It gets me on the play with this deck every time. Like this deck's really
Well,
good.
not
on the
every
play.
time. Not every time.
Maybe not in the finals. There's a chance. Sylvan Library for Joshua Snider. That's a pretty good one here. Joe's deck doesn't really have counter magic, so can't interact as much as you might like it to. But you know, in place of counter magic, he's just playing, you know, a ton of disruption in the form of Cabal Therapy, and Spell Pierce still does the work.
All right. Yeah, Sylvan Library, a really strong card. I'm a big fan. The problem is, like, Bernal is going to, like, Snider's the aggro deck, and Bernal already appears to be in have a good level of control here. Mother of Runes from Joshua Snider. Remember, Bernal can answer that even if the protection gets online. He has 2 Zealous Persecution.
Yeah. He uses Zealous Persecutions. Post-board, he has Swords to Plowshares. Liliana can activate to destroy it.
Yeah.
There's a whole world of things that Joe can do to deal with Mother of Runes.
Right. I mean, Joe has to be really happy that his life total is 17 right now, I think. And I'd start ticking up the Liliana. I know, you know, as soon as he can get both hands clear, I think Joe's the one with the Planeswalker, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Liliana takes care of Mother of Runes. Yep, all right, we're going to start at +2. +1, I believe. Or he hasn't, no, he's waiting on that. Thinking he's going to want to try to get a GT online. Because he has a Stoneforge Mystic. Once he gets the GT online, there's more Kasali Pride Mages. You know, Joshua Snider playing the full set.
All right, going up to 2 with Liliana.
Both players discarding. And an extra land by Bernal and Noble Hierarch from Snider. Snider, I believe, down to 2 cards now. Alright, and he'll go for the Core Artificer, grabbing Umezawa's Swordbreaker.
Yeah, and we have a Jitte.
I mean, I
think Joe has another Jitte in his hand, too, so... I mean, a lot of you might be thinking, well, he's 2 of a legendary equipment in his hand, why didn't he pitch one to Liliana? But his opponent has Kasali Pride Mage, and a Jit actually connecting is just
deck.
too insane.
Two GTs. Two GTs means the first one the first one stuck, which is like the problem of having 2 Jace the Mind Sculptors. Where you're like, this is sweet. It means if they kill my first one, I get another one.
Yeah.
Like, and Josh Snider does have the ability to Wasteland Bernal off blue. Not that great. Snider needs action. You know, the other guy has a GT, a Stoneforge Mystic, and a Liliana.
Yeah, using your Wasteland this turn, I think you really just want to be.
I mean,
sure,
there's risks. You're gonna afford Bernal a Brainstorm, which that's pretty relevant. But yeah, Snider needs to get a presence here. That's really the important part. All right. So 1 damage to Joshua Snider, down to 16. He's gonna Green Sun Zenith for 1.
For 1, that's an interesting number.
So just grabbing a Kasali Pride Mage. Maybe another Mother of Runes, but Liliana's on 2. I can't get a Mother of Runes. Yeah. Just Noble Hierarch. All right. And while he's in his deck, he's going to shortcut and cast a.
Yeah, going to use his
crack a special hand.
Teeth.
He needs to make sure that his last card does something. It looks like Josh kept an extra card off the Sylvan Library. All right, and Thalia. That's a lot. Thalia is pretty good here because it stops GT counters. Once again, though, the problem is like Snider can't push any damage here, so Bernal. Okay, right now he cannot deal with Snider's board. All right, we'll wait.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, Snider does have a library, which helps him.
Yep, libraries, and this is where library's excellent. That's true.
Yeah. But Joe's still got a lot of action in his hand.
Right.
Well, I think it might just be double Jit in his hand.
But that's fine.
It's pretty good.
He's still the guy with the. He's still the guy with the islands. I like the position.
Yeah, and he has the Planeswalker, but I don't think he's gonna have the Planeswalker for long.
Probably not. He drew a Cabal Therapy. I would pick up Liliana and discard it. I don't see Josh Snider having many cards in his hand for the rest of the game.
Yeah, neither do I.
The question is whether or not you want to Edict with the Liliana. I almost want to put it up. The thing is that here's the reason I want to put Liliana up. I don't think Snider can attack Liliana because if he does, Jit gets him.
Yeah, I think taking up Liliana and pitching your Cabal Therapy is about as good as it gets here.
Yeah, fairly hard for Snider to answer the Liliana, so yeah, I think that's a very solid play. All right, let's see. All right, still deciding on this play. It's he just kind of wants to just. I think the reason he thinks long on this sort of thing is he wants to. It's not just planning a single play. He's kind of making a game plan here.
Yeah.
He's gonna Edict. I disagree.
I don't know if I like that.
I don't really. Yeah, it's. I like having a Planeswalker. I don't want to give it up unless I have to. I don't. Because he still can't push through the Thalia, I feel like I would have settled in for the long game there. That seemed a little hasty to me. Snider just bring it up. Just having one. We'll save his life total for a bit. It is 4 life to keep extra cards off Sylvan Library.
Yeah, and I mean, this Thalia, it's going to prevent Joe from getting Jit counters for a little while, but eventually Joe will
okay, Scavenge, big draw by Joe Bernal.
Good one.
And at this point, if I'm Bernal, I think I waste him off the blue. And yep, right away. You know, I think Bernal feels like he's ahead. Like Snider feels like he's pulling back in.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's take care of his blue mana. Blue mana is the best mana. You know, get rid of it. And can't attack yet. The attacks will come. Never. Not yet. You still have to deal with that stupid thing. Even if you trade, I think what he does is he has to make a Scavenging Ooze so large that it doesn't care. You know, which that's a good amount to ask. Bernal, you know, GT, remember, it has backup GT. That's the backbreaker here. Bernal drawing an island. Now he still has his blue. He's going to equip it, but not many plays. You know, I really wish there was a Liliana in play here. I think it'd be excellent.
It would be.
You know, I understand that Snider would have a Kozai Pride Mage. He's going to eat his own Pride Mage.
Yeah, and he's still got plenty of guys in his yard here.
Yep, he took 1 damage there, so he drops to 10. Not too relevant, his own life total, as long as it doesn't get too low. He has to watch out that he doesn't keep hurting himself. I mean, eventually he'll just use the Horizon Canopy to draw a card, but then he probably can't keep too much off Sylvan Library.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to gain life from the Scavenging Ooze, too, like on the activations, removing creatures. So,
yeah.
You know, he can at least stay at parity.
One thing we do know is that Josh's top decks aren't that good right now. One of the problems about Sylvan Library, or not the problems, but something you know when you play against it, is you have to assume that, like, your opponent's draws start getting, the longer he has it in play without cracking a fetch land, his draws, like, get progressively worse because he's always taking, he's always taking the best card, and eventually the top of the deck becomes pretty mediocre, like full of mediocrity. He's gonna swing them both. Interesting. Okay, so if you're Joe Bernal here, what do you think is going on? Why is he swinging? Block the Scavenging Ooze?
Yeah.
Well, aren't you? I mean, okay. Clearly, you can't swing back. Like, no way Josh is, like, making a play that just lets you swing back and get GT counters, right? That's a ruse. That's not real. Okay, no blocks. He's going to eat his Pride Mage. So that's 4, 5, 6 damage, dropping Bernal to 11. So then you think, okay, what does he have, right?
In this spot here? Maybe Goyf?
Tarmogoyf would be pretty good.
No, he doesn't.
Takes a damage.
He just makes his ooze really big. So Joe's gonna get some Jit counters. I think Joshua. That was a little hasty on Joshua's
Dude, you're playing
part.
creatures. You gotta be careful about that. GT's a very real card against a creature
people
deck.
just don't. People just let that thing get counters.
Okay, so it got 2 more counters, which then meant it was. Yeah, he gained 3 life. Yeah, drops Bernal to 9.
Yeah, but Joe Bernal's probably
Gets
gonna win
GT
now.
counters, yeah.
Because all he has to do is like draw Swords to Plowshares to deal with Scavenging Ooze, and then the game is
Well,
massively in his
actually
favor.
doesn't even draw Swords to Plowshares. He can just keep trading with GT. Like Snider will not be able to attack. Yeah, I don't like this at all. Cabal Therapy. Naming Thalia. Nope, it's a Green Sun Zenith. Which is good. Gets a shuffle out of the way too for the Sylvan Library.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
It's very good.
Yeah, kill the Thalia. Yeah, I still really don't like that play. I would have held back the Thalia.
Yeah,
100%. Okay. Anyway, looking at how the board is right here, 1 counter on the GT. Bernal's hand GT question mark, right? Or is it just it's 2 cards? And he'll pass the turn. That Green Sun Zenith really strong. It can get Knight of the Reliquary, I think is... Well, you don't have the land yet for Knight. I'm not sure I'd want to waste time getting land either. He has... I think he feels safe by having Kasali Pride Mage, but I mean, we know it's not true. We know that there's a second GT in wait.
Yeah.
He can also get... He could get another Scavenging Ooze. That's not very relevant. All right. Scavenging Ooze swings in. I believe it's a 5/5 right now.
It is in fact a 5/5.
All right.
No, I believe it's actually 6/6.
Scavenging Ooze is
big.
quite a beat. Snider's planning to do something else with his Zenith and get a Pride Mage. He could eat Thalia, get Pride Mage, but he would have made that play pre-combat for the Exalted. Okay, Wasteland, Zenith for 3. That's Noble Hierarch. Not Noble Hierarch, Knight of the Reliquary. Sorry.
Definitely another Reliquary.
Our heroine shall grace the battlefield. Bernal drops to 3. Do you think this game is different if Bernal still has Liliana in play? How does this game play out for you? I'm not sure he's still in it.
I think
Sylvan Library really carrying its own weight.
I think Joe, Joshua would have had the Noble Hierarch. It would have changed the math on a lot of different things.
But at the same time, Joe will have the potential to have many edicts. I think if Bernal can't answer the Scavenging Ooze, eventually this Liliana just becomes a liability. Scavenging Ooze will attack. It will be big. It won't get edicted by the Liliana. There's too many other things in the battlefield. Possible, I think, that Josh Snider gets it both ways. But I think closer with the Liliana. I know it's a lot to play out. I'm not positive.
Yeah, Swords to Plowshares is going to remove Knight of the Reliquary from the game, putting Joshua back at 16. Joe is still at 3 here. Did Joe draw here? Did Joe have the misfortune of drawing another Cabal Therapy?
Ooh, yeah, a lot of those disruptive cards not very strong here. He's got to get his own GT counters. Remember that, like, Stoneforge Mystic gains 4 life when it hits. Scavenging Ooze deals damage as well.
Yeah, like 6 damage, yeah.
Yeah, but it races very slowly, I suppose, against the Stoneforge. But yeah, Bernal still needs something big, something really relevant. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's looking for. The problem is that Snider will probably just have a threat every turn due to Sylvan Library.
Yeah.
And Joe light on mass removal. Large swing by Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, it's gonna have to gain some life instead of shrink. You don't shrink the ooze, you gain life.
Yeah, he's gonna remove 2 counters. Game 4, go to 7, and Joshua will presumably use the Scavenging Ooze ability, and then Joe will have to remove the last Jig counter there.
Yeah. Giving Bernal essentially just 1 more turn. Alright, yep, it's fine. Eat something. Eat Thalia. Go to 16, get an even bigger one. Yep, they're okay. Last counter's gone. So, 6 damage for 3 counters. So Bernal still at 3. Snider moves up to 16. Says go. Is that what I saw?
I think Joe actually falls to 2.
It was a 7/7.
Yeah, now it's 7/7.
Scavenging Ooze. Man,
so good.
That card, yeah. Originally just seen play out of the commander decks, but you know, easily
It's replacing Tarmogoyf all over,
Yeah.
all over the place. Literally all over the place.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's bigger than Tarmogoyf. It's reliably bigger. It is also probably, I mean, the effect of getting Graveyard, so big. He's going to get the GTA. He's going to have an unfortunate, there's a surprise waiting for him in Bernal's hand. It's another
Yes.
GTA, but Polluted Delta, that's not Polluted Delta. You know, I'm not even sure, and another GTA doesn't even save Bernal for a turn. He'll have to chump block here. So it saves him for a turn on the chump blocks, but I don't know. Bernal could draw to like a Lingering Souls here and just hope to continue chump blocking every turn.
And
I'm
if
not
he's
sure what
chump blocking and getting jit counters, it's one thing.
Right, so yeah, I think Bernal's draw would be like another land into Lingering Souls, equip a GTA, chump, flash it back, equip a GTA, chump.
It'd be pretty good.
Oh, hopefully eat Scavenging Ooze at some point with like a fistful of jit counters, GTA counters. All right, yeah, we'll have to know that he's gonna Zenith up another Kasali Bride Mage.
That seems like it would probably be the plan here.
Yep. Make sure that for the added insult, he's gonna get the Exalted trigger here. And yep, blows it up, eats that. Yeah, that's right, Noble. That's right. Stoneforge Mystic took 9. What was it? An extra point of damage.
Joe now with a hand that's, I think it's just Cabal Therapy.
Yeah, he's on his last card here for game 1. Interesting. We'll soon find out how the other match is doing. I can't imagine they're still in game 1. A Rug Delvermere, not the longest affair. Both decks really big tempo decks. I know post-board, I think that matchup slows down quite a bit. Another Stoneforge Mystic for Bernal, but he is out of... The Artificer is out of targets, so it's a Squire.
And just a 1/2. He's going to be forced to just chump block Joshua's guy.
I read my favorite comment I think I've seen on Stoneforge Mystic of, Stoneforge Mystic is my favorite Squire. It goes you and gets you your weapon, which is everything a Squire is supposed to do for you. I was like, everything that was really cute. It is. It's a very good Squire, He comes and finds you your Batter's Skull. And it's like, oh, thank you. I did want one of these. And Thalia. All right, just another creature. Joe shows it 2. Yep. Anything? Nope. All right, game 2. Joshua Snider with Maverick up 1-0 over Joe Bernal.
Yeah.
All
Joe Bernal with an excellent start. The turn 1 Bitter Blossom, or the turn 2 Bitter Blossom. Joshua had the Noble Hierarch and a Kasali Prime Mage and was able to keep Joe from getting that advantage that he would have gotten from that.
Yeah.
Then the Stoneforge Mystic, it ate a removal spell, and suddenly,
Yeah. All right, so second trivia question for you. A little bit of a homework question, not too much. All right, so there was the announcement about, as we know, the Team GP, right, in this last week?
Yes.
Okay, so announced Team GP, sweet.
I'm very
That's the
excited about it.
beginning of the new Grand Prix season. Okay, so new Grand Prix season means not just new sets of Grand Prix. It means this year, if you've traveled to any Grand Prix, you've gotten an Nate's Alternate Art Goblin Guide. I still have a play set of them. I think they're great. I like them a lot. Foil Goblin Guides, sign me up. So our second question, our top 4 question, this is for 6 months of Star City Premium, is going to be, if you attend an event starting, in the last half, so for the next year, this next season, you will be getting a foil promo of what card? It's the new
I know the
Grand
answer.
Prix card.
I
Yeah.
know the answer.
Yeah. All right. You can't say it yet. You
I
can't.
know.
You
I'm
gotta
gonna
wait.
tweet
You
it.
gotta
I
wait
gotta-
until
I
after
gotta-
this
whoa.
match.
But I want to win 6.
You gotta log on to Twitter. You gotta put a hashtag SCG Premium. Maybe you could win. You could win 6 months.
Can I put it inside of the? Can I put it inside of the screen?
The screen. You gotta just gotta
that what I
type.
do?
Just gotta type it into the screen. All right.
Can I just
Type it in. All right.
put it in there? No, it doesn't work.
All right.
It's broken. All right, but
Yeah.
yeah.
What is the promo GP card? Promo card you'll get by attending a Grand Prix in the 2012-2013 season. If you don't know the answer, you can look.
it's readily
You're at a
available
computer.
on
You're at
the
a computer.
internet.
I imagine, Wizards of the Coast would like you to know the answer to this question. You could look there. No.
I believe your computer is voice activated, so you should just ask your computer.
Computer. What is it? They all start a computer. What is the Grand Prix card for 2013?
It will answer you.
Yes.
Trust me. But it only recognizes your voice.
In a very mellow female voice. Why? Of course.
Of course.
All right. So we get to sideboarding between these two decks. Let's look at kind of what each of them has. We already know that there's Perish out of Joe Bernal's deck.
That's a good card.
That is excellent. Things I would like out of Joshua Snider's deck, he has the ability to go bigger. He has Gideon Jura in his sideboard.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Gideon Jura. I think he has Fauna Shaman, too, which I actually would like in the matchup. I would just like to turn all my creatures into better creatures.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's completely reasonable.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll get another Reliquary.
I'll keep getting that real quick. I mean, there aren't many creatures. He doesn't have like Vengevines or anything that plays out of the yard. Fauna Shaman, an interesting play. It's really just a value card in the matchup. So that's most of what he's doing with it. Other cards, he has a Linvala. I don't see the need. It stops Stoneforge Mystic, but
Yeah,
that's not enough at all.
Here. I mean, Linvala's more for Maverick Mirror.
Yeah, Maverick Mirror is an excellent card. Other things he has, he has Path to Exile. That's not the side of the matchup he's on. I think, yeah, the big things I want are Gideon Jura and Fauna Shaman.
Yeah, most Maverick decks don't have the Linvala in the sideboard for the mirror because it kind of fell out of favor. Originally, the Punishing Maverick decks all had Cunning Sparkmage Collar to go with their Stoneforge Mystic.
Ooh,
so
bringing some old standard tech back.
Yeah, post-board in the Maverick Mirror, they would have Sparkmage Collar. And obviously that just
with Punishing
automatically
Fire.
Wins this mirror.
Yes.
But I mean, that was the versions of Punishing Fire do that to be the versions that did not have the Punishing Fire. Then the versions that did not have the Punishing Fire would combat that by siding in Linvalas, which would turn off their opponent's Noble Hierarchs, their opponent's Mother of Runes, and
Knight of the Reliquary, Cunning Spark Mage.
Knight of the Reliquaries, Cunning Spark Mages.
Sylvan Ranger.
Pretty impressive. Sylvan Ranger.
Scrub Ranger. Remember, the winner of this match will play against Rug Tempo, either from Mike Hawthorne or Ryan Overturf. Both the guys. One of them awaits coming from the other semifinal. You'll be able to read about that match on written coverage. Mm-hmm. So if you have friends in the other match, wait, that'll be coming up pretty soon. You'll be able to read about how that one went.
And if you need to learn how to read, I suggest you do that right away.
Internet's an excellent tool. You'll have to find the webpage, which will be difficult, but as we already determined the computer's voice activated, you should be able to get it.
You should be able to figure it out.
All right. Joe Bernal does have the so he has Perish. He has a Diabolic Edict. That's probably pretty good.
That's definitely pretty good.
What else do we like? He has Oblivion Ring. I mean, is it a more catch-all kill spell? For example, I really felt like Sylvan Library was really relevant. It's a one of Sylvan Library, but is it fair enough to say that carried Joshua Snider?
Yes.
Yeah, they had an empty board. Joe Bernal was slightly ahead on the board.
Like 3 times, 4 times. The Zenith.
He Zenith.
2 fetch lands.
I mean
Zenith. Didn't he Zenith twice?
I think he just Zenith the once. No, twice. Okay. You're right. It was twice. But by the second time, it was done.
It was over.
It was already over. What it let Joshua Snider do is every single turn he just kept playing a creature, which okay, he's green-white. What else is he going to play? But he played a great creature every turn. Joe Bernal was not able to keep up. He drew Cabal Therapies. That's actually a card I don't really like in this matchup.
No. I mean,
I would try to find room to get rid of those. Would you even do something as little? Say you have therapies, right? You don't like them. This is something I've always wondered. So say you decide your therapies are awful. Would you side but you're running out of so you already have 2 Perish in, you already have an Oblivion Ring in, you have a Diabolic Edict in, so your therapies are gone. But say there's another card you didn't want. Do you side in things like Relic of Progenitus just because, hey, it cycles? It gets me to my cards that matter more.
Relic of Progenitus is not that bad against his
opponent. Not bad, not great. It's really,
yeah,
it's a blank cycler in a lot of ways.
You respond to a Scavenging Ooze and make it have no food. You can make a Knight into a 2/2. I mean,
not great, but
it does have some value. It's not completely for naught.
All right, so Joe Bernal will be on the play again.
Yeah, I might sign some relics.
Yeah, I mean, but not because they're good, just because there's other cards I don't want, and I want to hit my good cards quicker.
Yeah, you just cycle.
Some cards, I think it's interesting. Look at their layouts. I always find it interesting to see how people deal out. Snider has this angled stack of 5 with whiskers on each side. Joe Bernal, 2 sides, 4 and 3. You especially notice if you ever watch Professional Magic, perhaps it's just the players I've played against. I find a lot of players, especially a lot of the Japanese pros, have very big rehearsed shuffling routines. They're elaborate shuffling routines, which is really cool. I'm not trying to be stereotypical or anything, but which, you know, I think's awesome. I remember after my first Pro Tour, I was like, I want to shuffle like Kenji shuffles. That was so cool. And it's like, when I realized I started
Kenji
trying to
does
do
shuffle,
it,
like, it's
and I
awesome.
realized I'm going to have to sit and practice this for like hours to get to be able to do this. Like, you know, okay, all right. I still thought about doing it. I was like, maybe it'll be, you know, I
Maybe
play a
it'll be
lot.
worth
I
it.
play a lot of Magic. This will be sweet. But all right, so turn 1, uncracked, flooded strand for Joe Bernal. Joshua Snider, wooded foothills into forest into noble hierarch. Bernal not with any great 1-drops. He has a plethora of good 2-drops, and actually last game we saw Bernal basically draw all his great 2 and 3 cells and then really just sputter out.
Yeah, I mean, he drew multiple Cabal therapies off the top after his opponent had an empty hand.
Yeah, I mean, what was his opener? Had, you know, Lands, Liliana, Stoneforge, Bitter Blossom. To me, when I hear that, that sounds like a sweet cube deck.
Yeah.
Like when I think about Joe Bernal's deck, in a lot of ways, I feel like he's got a really sweet cube deck. Like, in the sense of, it's not a totally linear focus, but it's just got all these greatest hits cards that are just awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, the token strategy is definitely
Is prevalent. Okay, he's playing Zal's
prevalent.
Persecution, so like,
And like,
it's there.
you know, Liliana going upstairs and pitching Lingering Souls.
Yeah.
It's more synergy also.
All right, Pride Mage out of Snider and off his lands, plays Savannah. Swings Noble Hierarch, will be double exalted for a pair. Going to attacks, Bernal's going to have a response. It's going to Brainstorm. I don't think he's actually hitting anything off the Brainstorm. He just wants to... I can't think of anything he's hitting. Maybe he has a Swords. I don't think I'd Swords the Pride Mage anyway. Well, I might if I had a Bitter Blossom in hand. I would Swords the Pride Mage.
Yeah, that's completely reasonable. I think he does.
Okay,
And I think he will.
so we're just calling the play of Swords
Yes.
and then untap Bitter Blossom.
I think I saw him draw the Bitter Blossom off the Brainstorm.
All right, so our other semifinalists finished, and the overall 1 seed, Ryan Overturf. You know, Criminal does the 1 seed. I don't think we've had him on camera yet. We will have him on camera as he's going to attempt to win the Legacy SCG Open without dropping a match. The winner of this match...
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, we will for sure get him on camera. He won the 75 card 1-shirt mirror over Mike Hawthorne.
It's not really so much pink as it is salmon.
Probably more... That's true.
It's more of a salmon.
Well, if we get him in here, if he wins, we're going to have to talk about that. And be like, what color? I feel like it's more of a salmon, but you know.
It's like it's a Nova Scotia.
It's like coral.
Yeah. It's a
All right.
pastel for Easter.
Yeah,
it's acceptable.
I like that. All right. So going back to our game, yes, he does fetch to get the white. I believe we have a Swords to Plowshares coming out here. He's clearing the way for his Bitter Blossom. Otherwise, and it remains to be seen if
I'm
this
surprised
is.
he didn't do it at the beginning of combat.
Yeah, I don't know where we are actually. It looks like he's let combat happen. Which, you know, if that's true, that's not what I do, but okay. Yeah, Josh. Okay, no, he's just fetching, end-step fetching. Okay, he's just clearing the top of his deck for a new draw. Okay, he doesn't actually have the swords. He does have a Stoneforge Mystic.
Oh, that must be the white card.
Yeah, all right. So he has all his Esper colors online, all off basics. I really like the aggressive fetching of basics. Okay, there's the swords. And he'll follow it up with Bitter Blossom.
Seems reasonable.
And Joshua Snider will jump up to 21, but you know, we'll need an answer for that. Bitter Blossom will be able to do a lot of heavy lifting against a creature deck, just to kind of blunt any sort of attack
It makes
on the
it
ground.
really, really hard for anybody to ever break through. It's an incredible defensive weapon. It's an incredible offensive weapon.
And I really, yeah. All right, Zenith for 2. Yeah, that's probably going to be a Pride Mage.
Yeah, another Pride Mage coming down. Joshua Snider.
Yep, it's got a land in hand. Looks like he does. He's looking for it. And there we are. Wasteland, and get rid of that.
Yeah, get that thing out of here.
We will have none of that.
I don't want to play against that card.
All right, and Bernal, just look at, he has, I like, you know, once again, okay, to be fair, last game I thought Bernal had it in hand. I looked at his hand, and we saw his hand, I thought, how many sweet cards are in here? He can't lose this. And then he
Yeah.
did. I'm feeling the same way again, okay? I'm
Yeah,
just
I mean-
it's full of these awesome
So many
cards.
sweet ones.
He's got Stoneforge Mystic and then some, and
I mean, he didn't
GT.
lose a match so far today.
Yeah. To be fair, if Joe Bernal takes us out and wins, we'll have our 2 undefeated players so far in the tournament. You know, the other undefeated player waiting in the finals, the 1 seed.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that, you know. Give everyone else a second shot.
It's kind of upsetting for Joe, though, that in the finals he doesn't even get to roll a dice, even though he hasn't lost a match this tournament.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, tiebreakers happen, you know. The two of them drew with each other. He knew what he was getting into when he took the first draw.
Joe is deciding what land he wants to play, deciding if he wants to.
Yeah. Deciding. All right. So first non-basic from Joe Bernal. It's going to activate that Wasteland. Remember, Joe Bernal, despite being a mostly black-white deck, does have a blue splash. And you ask, okay, what is he splashing for? The answer is Jace the Mind Sculptor and Brainstorm.
And Brainstorm.
All right, double Dark Confidant.
It's a big game.
Josh would really like to go. Oh no, it's an land equip Umezawa's G-Day.
Does he have that?
I don't know if he has the G-Day. It's in his deck, but I mean, it's like you need to do that and soon.
Yeah, that would be an awful big game.
Like,
Joe probably wouldn't be too happy about that one.
If he can make that play, outside of that,
I mean, if he had access to that play, he would have.
He probably would have made that play before.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, this is
because I mean, an active Jitte is better against Bitter Blossom than killing a Bitter
You're
Blossom.
Swords one of them. Okay, we can't let that happen.
Yeah, Joe going up to 18 now, more life to feed that Dark Confidant.
Yeah. But really, the advantage of Dark Confidant, I always find, unless you play it on 5. Okay, I often see players who are new to Dark Confidant be really turned off by its life loss aspect of it. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No, unless if you play it when you're on 5 life, okay, it matters then. But if you're on 20 life when you play it, like, okay, so I cube draft a lot. I will play it in a deck with Greater Gargadon. I will play it in a deck with like lots of 6 drops because you know what? It's absurd. It makes you win. It's fun, you know.
Yeah, look here. He just got a free source to
All
Plowshares.
right, we're gonna kill that Scavenging Ooze now. You know, and gonna continue drawing cards. Yeah, I took a damage. That's fine. Yeah, Dark Confidant.
Yeah,
one of the most powerful 2 drops.
The first time I ever played against Dark Confidant in a tournament, it was an extended tournament, and I was playing some type of zoo deck, and my opponent was at like 6.
You're like, oh, this is great.
He goes Confidant, and I'm like, it's like his end step, and I'm like, should I kill that thing? And I'm like, no way, that thing's definitely gonna kill him. So I like took my turn. I like let him have it in play for like 4 turns, and like it just destroyed me. And if I had just killed it, I would have easily won the match.
It's like Confidant flips Lightning Helix. Oh, that's really. Oh gosh, and that flips a land. Like maybe.
Quickly learn that lesson.
If they're at 1, maybe you keep it.
Maybe.
Maybe. You still might want to kill it if it doesn't matter.
If they're at 1, I would not kill it with a burn spell, however.
Okay. Okay. He's gonna use the extra card he got off Swords. Snider will get 1. No, he can't. The Dried Arbor is summoning sick. Right?
I believe this Dried Arbor is summoning sick.
He could have used the Hierarch to nab a card there, and probably should have.
So here we are. Lingering Souls.
All right.
Going to make a few 1/1 tokens for Joe Bernal.
It gives him plenty of time.
MC Hammer making a triumphant return.
Yeah.
To the camera area.
You know what? I like the bows on it. And I think this is going to be another one of those repeated lessons in the strength of Dark Confidant. If Josh can't answer this, we have to learn. Why is that card so good? Well, stay tuned. We will
regale you with stories of how insane this card is.
All right, another Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, and it's gonna get Lingering Souls. Yep. Very strong play.
I mean, the big issue though is that, he's doing all this stuff, but Joe's trying 2 cards a turn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So.
Yes. Now, if those spirit tokens had a Drogskull Captain standing beside them, you know what they would say?
They would say, "Can't touch this."
Yes, exactly. Very nice.
All right,
joke from Jesse.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was about the best joke I've ever heard in my entire life.
And a land. Excellent.
And another STP.
It's okay. Bob didn't flip this one. Bob took the land for you. It's just, especially in a format where everything's mana cost is so low, the card's great.
Yeah. The card is absolutely absurd.
you can Swords the Scavenging Ooze here. There's also a case to be made for just chumping Scavenging Ooze for a while and just letting Bob slowly and inevitably defeat everything. I think you do it just because Snider's so low on cards. You know, you're going to attrition him. All right, swinging 4. Giant Growth. That would be really good.
That would be pretty good. Mutagenic growth.
No.
Man, I did not see that coming.
Stoneforge Mystic post-combat. And, all right, Joe Bernal putting the pressure on, leveraging the advantage.
And he has another land in play, too, so I imagine he's just going to play the Jit now.
No, I think he's going to... There's a chance,
not really much difference playing it now.
Pride Mage.
But, I mean, Pride Mage, so...
Pride Mage is instant speed, right.
Yeah,
so
Pride Mage ability is instant speed, so... I guess if he plays Pride Mage on his next turn and you reveal or are able to get another Swords, then it's good to wait.
Well, yeah, because then you can wait until you have a kill spell for the Pride Mage and then GT him. So
I think that's completely reasonable. You're right.
So, but I think Snider down to 1 card, Bob's really good. Oh, Snider's at 1 card. Joe at more and more on the board and more everything. The thing about the Maverick decks is he has, outside of 4 Swords to Plowshares, Josh Snider not with any removal spells.
I mean, a lot of the time they're punishing fire, but
he has 2 Paths to Exile in the board. He may consider boarding them in now. I'm not sure. Outside of Dark Confidant, there's not a really must-kill card in the deck.
Yeah, and there's also the major issue of, if you path your opponent's turn 2 Confidant, you might be fighting a turn 3 Jace.
Yeah, you're giving them Rampant Growth. Okay, Umezawa's Jite. So, gonna go into play here. It did not... Why wasn't that equipped to Dryad Arbor?
That is a surprising thing to have happened.
I do not understand. That seems relevant.
Joe is often been compared to Neo from The Matrix because he has the ability to dodge bullets.
Yeah, I think that GT could have killed a Dark Confidant. I really would have liked... All right.
Yeah.
You're going 2 lands drawn for Joe Bernal. It's fine. One of the lesser of the Bob activations, I suppose. Still an amazing card.
I mean, how many cards has he drawn now?
Well, think about
4?
this. Josh Snider drew GT and played it. Joe Bernal drew an extra card, which is a Stoneforge Mystic, which then got a GT to Legend Rule the GT. So Joe Bernal, 1-for-1s with Josh Snider's card, gets a 1-2 to tell a story about it, and the 1-2 was a free card to begin with.
Yep.
All right. Oh,
it's kind of a pretty good description of what's been going on thus far in this game.
Okay. And here he'll wait to Legend Rule the GT until during Josh's attack step so that Josh cannot draw and equip a second GT. Or I believe so, or he'll send the Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difference between the number of turns that these exact attacks take to kill Joshua.
He's going to say go.
Oh, whoa.
GT, don't let it connect.
What's going on?
I mean, I think he has an answer, but...
He must.
Yeah. Gonna attack, can't let it get the GT counters. He's going to...
Zealous Persecution.
Wow. Essentially time walking here. Alright, Mother of Runes down. But not, Zealous
Persecution just used.
Okay, the question I have is, okay, that was really cute what happened there, but isn't it correct just to Persecution on your own turn, hit for a bunch, and then be like, yep, gotcha?
I think so.
Okay. At this point I would want GT counters, I think. Just, maybe not, you can't get them yet, but, maybe play another Stoneforge. He's not cracking his fetch. He doesn't need the mana yet, and he wants to be wasteland proof if he decides he needs any color. Which is totally correct.
That's true. And yeah, he also just wants it for brainstorms.
Yep.
Wants it for Jace activations. Here's another island now.
Plenty of reasons not to cast, not to crack fetch lands, just because they're there.
Stoneforge Mystic coming down.
Yep.
Joe also going to crack this fetch land.
And getting a...
Manriki Gusari.
So unnecessary.
Yeah.
But This is so I feel like the old man Riki Gasari trumps GT argument that harkens me back to the days when I first learned Magic: The Gathering in earnest of Champions of Kamigawa. You could learn such interactions as this. Gasari plays for 2, equips for 1. It's the Equipment Breaker. Yep, he will move that onto the Dark Confidant, the one guy he does not want attacking.
Yep.
And break the GT. Once again, actually I would say I would break the GT during Josh's attack step.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are things that are really splitting hairs and often don't cost you games, but say Josh has land, draws more GT,
Yeah.
Don't afford him that. Even though I think in that situation, even if that perfect storm occurs, Joe Bernal's still commandingly in the driver's seat, so it's like not that big, but why give it to him? It's not that like Snider has a play that Dark Confidant's so good.
Dark Confidant sniffing up these plows like it's his job.
It doesn't matter. He's drawn 5 cards off it. You don't lose when that happens.
Drawing 5 cards is so good.
Yeah, Zealous. Okay, yeah, he's gonna play the GT. Sure, equip
onto a flyer.
Yeah. And what I like about Bernal is his sense of patience. These are all plays like this hitting with GT could have happened such a long time ago, but why?
Yeah, there's no reason for it to happen.
I have time. I'm not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere. This is fine. We'll just.
Yeah. And we're gonna have to watch a game 3. It looks like.
Almost certainly.
I would be extraordinarily surprised if we did not have to watch a game 3 here.
I don't even know how that would happen. So sometimes
maybe a meteor would come and hit Joe Bernal.
It's like I like to think about these both situations of
or
if you were
Snider, for that matter,
if you were Snider and you could stack your deck right now, what would you stack it to be? And my answer is nothing. I'm dead. Okay. All right, going to game 3. Joe Bernal versus Joshua Snider. Esper Blade, more Esper than Blade. Not too many. Not even really swords. It's really just.
Tokens.
I feel like it's an Esper cube deck.
I'm gonna go with black-white tokens.
Black-white Jace tokens.
Yeah. Black-white tokens can brainstorm EJs.
Yeah.
So good.
It's just good stuff. It's a bunch of real good stuff. These are all cards I first pick in cube. Stoneforge Mystic, Bitter Blossom, Jace, Lingering Souls. I actually do first pick that in cube.
So do I. I mean, that card's so insane.
Like GT. These are all these like the sweetest, just like in a vacuum cards. Like, oh man, I love Sensei Divine Top, Swords to Plowshares, Dark Confidant.
And Lingering Souls either buys you so much time, it gives you. It's just such a. It's an extremely hard to deal with threat. It's an incredible answer against opponents who are trying to be aggressive with things that have 1 toughness. It's like it's massive card advantage.
Now, Lingering Souls. Correct me if I'm wrong. Premiered in the column Building on a Budget, correct?
I write that column.
I know that. Do you?
Oh my goodness!
So you know a thing or two about this.
Yeah, I wrote the preview column for Lingering Souls. I believe in my preview column I say that there's going to be a huge card in every constructed format except maybe Vintage. I said we were going to be playing it in Legacy, in Modern, Standard, and it turned out to be a really big card. It was actually quite funny because in the forums a lot of people were saying that the card was bad and that I was wrong and that I was crazy to think that anybody would ever play this card in Legacy. I actually have to show you some Facebook conversations.
All politics, all not defensive at all, but sometimes the best Magic strategy does not come from forums on the internet.
That is true.
You will find many opinions on the forums that, while well-intentioned, sometimes do not ring true.
Well-intentioned is a very generous term to use for the forum dweller. Yes.
Not even trolling. Sometimes it's in earnest. I think a lot of people didn't believe the hype on Lingering Souls. So with the new cards, you know what? Okay, so I know we were discussing them before. We'll just hint on them here.
Sometimes it's like paid entry.
Yeah.
Intended.
so going back to new cards are predicting. I'll go on a limb. Okay, first week into some of these new cards, I'm going to say this Miracle 5 damage spell, I think, is a definite player. And if I'm wrong, that's fine. I'm not sure.
I think in Legacy, I think that's where it's going to find
Legacy, I will not even say it will be restricted to Legacy. You can flame me all you want. Maybe I'm wrong. I remember I've made some predictions before. New Phyrexia, I said Beast Within was going to be terrible. I don't think I'm totally right there. I remember I went on a podcast.
I don't think it's very good.
I went on a podcast and claimed. I remember everybody saying this was the best card out of the set, and I was like, no, I don't think it's very good.
I agree, it's not very good.
But I've struck out on a bunch of other accounts. You know,
It's a decent.
I also said Geist of St. Traft wouldn't be that good. Okay, a little wrong there. So, but I'm gonna say
I thought that card was insane.
Okay, well you got me.
What are you, crazy?
It's a 2/2 without evasion. Okay, so hexproof's ridiculous. Fine, that was wrong. But I will say,
for 6 damage.
I really am a believer in this lava in this card. 5 damage for 1 mana is such a conversion rate. It's we don't actually have a card of that conversion rate.
That's so much better than the best burn spell.
And I know, okay, you're gonna say, but if you Matthias, if you draw that card, it's 5 damage for 6 mana. Okay, I get it.
Have you ever red sun zenith somebody for 5? It's not that bad.
I mean, okay, I won't even defend it. If it's in your hand, it's pretty bad.
It is bad.
Okay, you can have Inferno Titan at that cost, and you're getting 5 damage to a target. Like, that's bad. Drawing it is so good. It's so efficient.
Yeah, ripping it off the top, very nice. You can even brainstorm, put it back on top. It's
In
nice.
a format where you can do that,
use
it's
Jace
excellent.
to put it back on top. It's pretty nice. Sylvan Library to set it up
Well,
with
the thing
fetch
is,
lands.
it's a split.
Sensei top with fetch lands.
So it's a split spell. I guess its 6 mana side is not very good, but I mean, it's usable, and just the fact of drawing it. You know, in the archetypes that want to push damage, I mean, I don't know. 5 is really, really large. I mean, think about Brimstone Volley with Morbid. When you've cast that, when it's Morbid activated at someone's face, you feel like $1 million. You're like, man, I paid. Look at all this damage I got for 3. You know,
I just got 5 damage.
you
for
have to
3
like
mana.
browbeat or
That's
Brimstone Volley Morbid to get that kind of damage. This is 1, not 3. I mean, I know it has
It's not
drawbacks,
conditioned.
but
It's,
wake up, like
Well, it is conditioned, but it's
I
not
am,
like...
I feel like this will have implications on constructed Magic. I don't know how. I hope it's fun. It feels a little. I see myself getting frustrated at this card.
Think you're gonna get burned?
Yeah,
Somebody's gonna burn
I
ya?
mean the miracle keyword. I'm going to call it the top deck keyword. Top deck.
is
If you
the top
top decked this, it's awesome. All right, game 3. Joe Bernal, Josh Snider. 2 excellent matches. Game 2, and really actually I think we're seeing the power of card advantage. Game 1, we saw Joshua Snider able to pull off a losing board state due to Sylvan Library. Game 2, we saw Dark Confidant doing the Dark Confidant thing.
Yeah, Star Confidant, when
It drew 5.
somebody does not play a removal spell on it,
It wins.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was it.
Tends to win games.
Flipped a couple swords to plowshares, then flipped the rest of the spells, and then we lost. All right, turn 1, Zenith for 0. Okay, Dryad Arbor for Josh Snider.
And Green Sun Zenith is just so versatile. So there you see it. When it's played for 1 mana, it's just a Llanowar Elf.
Yeah,
It's played for 2 mana.
It's a card I'd like to see return off the Modern ban list. I think if you really want to keep it on the Modern ban list, I would prefer to see Dryad Arbor added. I think this is like the most unfair thing that Zenith can do, and if you really want to, I would like to see it return to Modern, but maybe you know, I'd be okay if you traded it on the ban list for Dryad Arbor. You know, if they have a policy of kind of trying to ban the most, you know, you didn't ban Thopter Foundry, you banned Sword of the Meek, because that card's not a card. Like, the only thing you do with Sword of the Meek is you make Thopters.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing you really do with Dryad Arbor is you get it with a Zenith. Just like, I don't know, I'd like to see that
I mean,
happen.
if somebody with swords and stuff could hypothetically fetch it up to equip it on your
That's
opponent's
very
turn.
fair. All right, Bernal with a Jataxian Probe, dropping him to 18, so we see Wasteland, Knight, Elspeth, Swords, Scavenging Ooze. That is strong.
That's a good hand.
So he's got a turn 2 Knight of the Reliquary and threatening a turn 3 Elspeth.
Yeah, it needs to rip a white source, but you know, even if he doesn't, he's still Scavenging Ooze path that turn. Or Scavenging Ooze Swords.
What Bernal would like to try to... I mean, he probably can't stop the turn 2 Knight. The land is a little bit of a liability in the fact that Bernal does have Zealous Persecutions and Perish. You know, this land is it's a little temporary, so that Zenith... I mean, I like the Zenith play just of how explosive it is on the play. But yeah, it's a little scary. But yeah, Bernal will have to answer in force here. Remember, he doesn't actually play counter spells. So, well, he has 2 Spell Pierce. I doubt he's kept them in.
I doubt it.
So, like, if I'm Bernal, I am very fetching here. I'm very scared about Elspeth Knight Errant. When that card resolves, Bernal will have one heck of a time beating it. Lingering Souls plus a flashback of Lingering Souls, I think, is his best way to kill it. But even then, Elspeth will...
Turn 2 Bitter Blossom would probably be...
Well, but even by that
decent, but
point,
the problem
like,
is,
it
yeah,
will have
it's
dealt
behind.
10 or something. It'll be really good.
Yeah, top's like a little bit slow.
Yeah, Joshua Snider really just breaking through the gates and trying to smash them with creatures. I approve. And he has drawn his dual land, and I like... So what Bernal does, despite the fact that the better play here is to play the Savannah, he has not played it to keep Bernal in suspense as to whether he not... You know, from Bernal's point of view, you need another white
maybe
mana.
I don't need to... You know, maybe I should play my 2-drop instead of Cabal peeing away that Elspeth, because I don't know if he has another white mana.
Right, I really like that. It's, you know,
He does.
hidden information when it's not going to matter. Excellent. Bernal may... I don't know, he might path the... Or swords the Dryad Arbor. It's possible. That's pretty ambitious, but maybe necessary. Okay, no, he's going to top. Spin the top. Bernal, remember, okay, Bernal does have Perish in his deck, but yeah, it looks like Elspeth's going to resolve, and I think that's strong. That's strong for...
It's not often you've seen Elspeth resolve.
Well, I think it's hard for Bernal to deal with that. All right, it's going to
Lose
pop
the
the
game.
top. Land. Swords the Knight.
Joshua,
Cross fingers, but
going
there's
up to
no
20.
crossing of fingers involved here. Josh has got it.
Yeah. He still has it.
Takes third damage. All right, yeah. Slam probably will...
Sorry, I have a really bad deck.
Crack fetch land. The wins the beats. Yeah, let's get Elspeth out. Elspeth beat Tezzeret Elspeth. I like the art on that one, actually.
I also like the art on that one. I do like the original one a lot, though.
They're both really nice. So yeah, make a land, make a
That might be
creature.
you know, I think that's top 2 most powerful planeswalkers ever.
Elspeth,
Elspeth Knight Errant.
right behind Jace.
Yeah.
Very close. I certainly, as someone who cube drafts a lot, I think that... I'm trying to think. I think Gideon Jura is probably the only other one in the conversation for that.
A Johnny Vengeant. When it has
So
been
much,
good.
so
has
much
been-
easier to deal. Like a Johnny Vengeance doesn't protect himself very well, though. Like
That's true, but he's extremely high impact, and like it's...
that's true.
You know, it's aggro decks, he's like a Helix that then like
It's like
fogs, and then against control decks, he's like this impending Armageddon. So
when I think about them, I picture like on this board state, Elspeth terrifying, Jace terrifying, a Johnny like really good, but I could
think a Johnny's kind of
terrifying here too.
terrifying here.
If
I
you
don't know
have
if you
this
could really
board.
beat that.
If he just like made some Lingering Souls, he probably beat it, right?
I guess so.
You know, like Lingering Souls. The problem what I see when I see like making Lingering Souls to answer as Elspeth, it's like, okay, I played out in my head, yeah, I answered it, and then I'm at 8 or something really, you know, like she beats you up before you can kill her. Okay, anyway, back. So that's Bernal gonna need an answer. He has Scrubland, Plains. Josh Snider off a turn 1 Zenith, able to in sequence go Knight of the Reliquary, Elspeth Knight Errant. Bernal's just a little slow on all things. A Bitter Blossom will help to stave off, you know, to match Elspeth, but then you, on top of that, you have to answer the Elspeth, which he's gonna play Underground Sea. Top. Go. Okay. So in his list, how's Joe Bernal stopping the Knight Errant from taking over?
Looks like Joe Bernal is going to try to kill it with Bitter Blossom and Lingering Souls tokens.
Okay.
And it's tall order.
Absolutely. And while it's on, the thing is that while it's on the battlefield, there are lots of cards in the deck. Jace the Mind Sculptor, Liliana of the Veil. You know, there's some cards that really will be very low impact while Elspeth looms.
Yeah, she punishes a lot of the strongest cards that
Yeah.
exist. Elspeth beats Jace. If they fight each, like if
Elspeth is very
I
good.
resolve a Jace and then my opponent resolves an Elspeth, my opponent wins.
The white planeswalkers, Elspeth, Gideon, very good at beating up other planeswalkers.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the only ones that, I mean, obviously in a fight, you know, the best planeswalker at fighting planeswalker would be Nicol Bolas. But outside, you
Or
know,
Karn.
Karn. Yeah, the really big guys. Well, both of them come down and just eat the other one. Nicol Bolas pluses 3 to kill the other one.
Oh man.
You know, Sorin. Like, I think the really big mana cost ones are really good at fighting each other. But yeah, Elspeth at 4, like, every bit as good. All right, Scavenging Ooze out of Joshua Snider. And he jumped the token there. I almost would just make tokens, I believe. Joe Bernal. No, he's got to push damage. He's got to push damage. I'll correct myself.
Joe Bernal with a different art MC Hammer token here.
Yeah, the
For
dark
the,
MC hammers. See, the other ones were Souls tokens. That was that was him in his, you know, with his white jacket. You know,
Mhm.
later side. This is the darker MC hammer.
You know, that's MC Hammer in the pose in my favorite MC Hammer dance, the one where his legs are going absolutely berserk and the top of his body looks like it's not moving at all.
That's yeah.
Isn't that the best one?
Sometimes I YouTube. I may or may not have YouTubed MC Hammer videos just to watch them. Sweet stuff. All right, GT. Stoneforge getting GT. We'll be able to like the relevant part here is that it'll keep him alive.
Yeah, I mean it's a
So
strange game right now.
the more I look at the board, actually a card I'd really like from Bernal is Zealous Persecution right now. I think when Elspeth is being as aggressive as she is, the one-sided Wrath plus really angry fairies, like I'd be okay with that. What he's got to do is that he's only at 11. He has a fetch and like his life total, he has to make sure before that GT gets on, he doesn't go to 0. I know, right? Our strategy columnists are saying, well, I think the key to Bernal winning will be that he shouldn't go to 0. That would really hamper his ability to win this game. You know,
I think it would.
that's like a John Madden commentary. They're gonna have to score more points if they'd like to win. You know, but all right. So Josh Snider with us. The problem is that Josh Snider's gonna keep adding pressure here. You know, 2 people are actually playing Magic. So
yeah, it's not like this is. It's not like Josh is on the end.
yeah, no, he still has 3 cards. I believe 3. Yeah, Elspeth up to 7. If an emblem is created, can Joe Bernal win? Like,
does it even do that much? All those things make him sacrifice creatures or Zealous Persecution.
I mean,
Gets them anyway. Or Umezawa's Jite gets them anyway.
And he's in a surgical now. He's boarded in surgicals. Once again, okay, one of the things I like to harp on.
Everybody's siding in surgical.
That's one of those. That's a trap. It's just a trap. It's not actually. He's not playing a graveyard deck. I know that there's a flashback card in it. It's not a graveyard deck. Okay, well, in his hand, we see 2 Brainstorms, a Relic of Progenitus, and Umezawa's Jite. So the difference between Relic and Surgical here, what we talked about boarding in the Relic was that if you have a lot of cards that are dead, the cool part about Relic is while it gets, you know, like minimal utility against some of his cards, like it cycles itself. So in a sense, if you just are out of good cards to board in, sure, like make your deck essentially a 58 card deck. That's okay. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like Surgical just for value, you know. And we even saw it as much. I remember if you were watching the GP finals, the Delver Mirror last weekend, we saw Shahar's opponent had double surgicaled him in the finals. I believe he surgicaled him for Ponders and then for Snapcasters. I remember thinking, you know, and then Shahar proceeded to win the game. And you're saying,
yeah, like imagine if Shahar's opponent had 2 more spells.
Had two things that did something. Yeah.
It's the way a lot of people lose matches to Magic is they, you know,
I
sideboard and then...
I remember the really old school thinking of Magic where, you know, milling you is like countering your creature before you cast it. I'm like, that's not actually true.
Not remotely true.
But it's in the graveyard. That's where you want it to end up anyway. Okay. So he's going to surgical here. And end step top for Bernal.
Found an Oblivion Ring.
Oh my. Well, that's a pretty relevant draw, wouldn't you say? He did have 1 Oblivion Ring in the sideboard.
That is a relevant draw step.
See, no, here's what we're talking about. Would you rather draw Oblivion Ring or Surgical Extraction? Like,
Oblivion Ring.
And actually, okay, so here's the other part. Surgical Extraction, at the end of its resolution, what did it do? It made Joe Bernal shuffle his deck. He had a Divining Top in play and just found an Oblivion Ring. Yeah. You realize that, like, in essence, you almost netted Joe Bernal a card or a card and a half with that play. So it's okay. He cracked a Marsh Flats, so he shuffled the deck himself on top of that. But like, okay, so maybe yeah, he gets the Oblivion Ring on the Elspeth. So it's possible that play was going to be made anyway. But it's like you realize that like that does afford Joe an extra shuffle. That's not irrelevant. Okay, so now
I think just Surgical Extraction is just kind of bad against decks that aren't like
decks that aren't graveyard decks.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, like,
against Dredge,
like,
I like Surgical. Okay, like it's good against Dredge. It's good against stuff. It's good against some combo decks, even like Storm. Okay, you know, like when I play High Tide, all right. If you can Surgical my High Tides, if you can Thoughtseize Surgical a High Tide from me, like that is very good. Okay, I mean, granted, I'd probably put one on the board if I thought you were going to do that, but like there are situations where it's okay, but just like against another deck for value, you know, don't. All right, a swing from Josh Snider. Yeah. Especially because Scavenging Ooze could have eaten the Lingering Souls. All right, so he'll hit Bernal down to 3, is it? The Scavenging Ooze of some size here. Bernal going to have to make sure he doesn't die to his own Bitter Blossom. So what do we have for life gain in Joe Bernal's deck?
The Umazao's Jitte that he has in his hand.
All right, so if Joshua Snider can effectively prevent the Jitte from getting counters, 5 turns worth. It's a lot to ask. But it might take, his own Jitte. Like, this fairy token, Joe will drop to 4, can't attack yet. So, like, Josh does have a line which leads to victory. I think that's, like, his best opportunity right now. Joe is really compounding. Joe has so many cards, and he has this Bitter Blossom, which is going to keep making cards, and he has this top. If this game goes long, Joe will win once he gets Jitte counters. Like, if Joe gets a Jitte online, I think it's Joe's game.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a big turnaround, this game.
Yeah.
Joshua's just so far ahead.
Brainstorm. So, yeah, able to find that one O-ring was so relevant.
And finding that land here is the last card. Again, super important for him. It's going to allow him to go Jit equip next turn, and it's also going to allow him to play Stoneforge Mystic this turn.
Yeah.
And just a pretty big turnaround. Now, then he also has double Jit in hand, which Joshua Snider, his besides Kasali Pride Mage, his only other way to deal with Jit is Umazao's Jitte. And if Joe has 2 of them, it means that Joshua's going to need Kasali Pride Mage and a Jit, or 2 Kasali Pride Mages.
All right. So we have Stoneforge Mystic here, getting another Jitte. So that's 2 Jittes in play. So still not going for the Jitte. As long as he gets a 4th land, he just has to. I think you want the redundancy of 2 of them. Joe Bernal needs one of these to stick, or he's dead. So I like.
Yeah. The other thing is that it also gives more value to Stoneforges that you draw in the future, because Joe does have a Brainstorm in his hand. So you can always brainstorm away a Jit and then search it up again. And then even when you draw the Stoneforges later on in the game, they're still really good.
Yeah, it's a really good play to do that sort of thing. I think at this point, it's probably not his main goal as. Once he connects with the Jitte,
free card, it's really good.
It's great. But it's once he connects with the Jitte,
nothing else really matters.
Nothing else matters. It's sweet, I'm up 1 card, I'm also up the game. So I have more cards. Yeah, I was good. But he's, it's probably more important that, I think, he's got to get one to stick. Josh Snider, okay, what can he just needs to sneak in 3 points of damage. One of the questions is if he has a card that can, a Kasali Pride Mage, or something that can self-sacrifice would be pretty nice. Some way that he can really just, stop the Jitte even from getting counters temporarily.
Well, a big issue is that the Kasali Pride Mage kills it anyway, but the tokens fly.
That's Gavoni Township, I believe.
Oh, is he playing that?
Yes, one of Gavoni Township.
Well, that's pretty sweet.
Swing with Scavenger is going to have to get blocked here. All right, 1 blue, Joe Bernal. Spin the top. There's a Jace on top, in the top 3 cards. Good. At this point, it's he has a lot of sweet things he can do with 4 mana. The choke is that he can only do 1 a turn. Jace, obviously amazing, but the Jitte equip swing is also 4 mana.
I think the Jitte equip swing is better.
Yeah, I would agree. Remember though, this Gavoni Township, that Dryad Arbor hiding next to the Gavoni Township, as these get tokens.
Oh, you're right. It's actually
that's really a big deal.
That is a pretty huge deal.
1 activation here, another activation next turn. Josh has 3 2-power attackers. Joe Bernal's at 4. Not irrelevant. So Stoneforge goes under the bus. Josh not going to activate Township here. He's going to go for this Knight.
Knight would be pretty good.
Okay. Also in his hand, okay. It is not Knight. Okay. Zenith for good. 2. That's going to be for Kasali Pride Mage,
which can get his Elspeth back.
Oh my. So what I like about Kasali Pride Mage, but I don't think it does it though. Is that what you do? Because Joe will threaten Jitte equip swing on the flyer with another flying chump blocker.
It's a good point.
It's close. Josh really has to have some gumption to let Joe get Jitte counters and try to race. Elspeth great, but cannot race an online Jitte.
Online Jitte, pretty insane.
Yeah, it's against a creature deck. It's, you know, it's great against creatures. So going either way, I think.
So what Joe has to do here, I think, is Joe just has to Jace.
Quick
And
question:
then-
who would you rather be here?
Joe.
Okay, I want to be the guy with islands. I think I agree. It's close.
It's really close right now.
Yeah. I think I played Jace.
This is really, really close.
Yeah.
Um,
Jace unsummon the Scavenging Ooze.
That's my play.
Yeah, I think that's mine as well. The problem with that is like the Elspeth will come back. Possibly, yeah. I think it's Jace unsummon Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah, but I mean, you can still you've 2 blockers for the.
Yeah. Remember,
big flying
remember
attack.
Joshua only needs to get Joe to 0. The Bitter Blossom will do the heavy lifting. He has Dryad Arbor as an additional attacker. Joe, I think, is opting. I don't like spinning top.
I don't like that at all.
Your mana is so restricted. All right, looking at top 3. This is excellent Magic, by the way.
Yeah,
I
this
had-
is really great.
Hope you were, cleaning your seat as much as I am here. All right, 3 on top. He's almost gonna probably pop the top for one of them. But
I'm really surprised he didn't go Jace Bounce Ooze.
well, he's taking that play away from himself, which I don't know what else he has. I mean, it's possible there's other plays I like here too. But the problem is like Jace, like that GT's got to get down every turn. He doesn't get the GT down.
It's like
He
one
has
turn
2
closer to
turns.
that.
Like what? He has 2 more turns after this one. And so not next turn, but by the turn after, he has to connect and get GT counters. If he doesn't, he's done.
Yeah. So he can Jace next turn, and Lingering Souls actually makes the Jace much safer. So
he's
maybe
okay. So he's waiting and he's planning on the. I don't know. I don't know if I like Jace Bounce next turn either. And that mana on end step is. What was the tap for there? Okay. Oh yeah, ooze ate a brainstorm or just ate a. Or did he eat a card? Doesn't Okay, ate Stoneforge out of the yard.
Mystic. And then
All right, Josh Snider. Yeah. So the plan of like town shipping, the Dryad Arbor pretty irrelevant here now.
Township does make the Dryad Arbor bigger.
Yeah. For those remembering, the black MC Hammer tokens are the black fairies, and the white MC Hammer tokens are the Lingering Souls.
It's important to remember.
Yeah. Swinging with Pride Mage.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Ooh, I would. Well, okay, he's threatening. Okay, to be fair, there is the Gavoni Township in play.
Yeah, so Joe would have to triple block it.
Do it. So if Joe triple blocks, he has to single block with another token, and thus won't have GT equipped next turn.
Correct.
All right, so there's
But
not.
he will have Jace Bounce next turn.
Do it. That's what I'd say. Well,
Yeah,
wait, no,
I
he
mean, you have
can't.
two more
If he Jace bounces next turn, Dryad Arbor kills him.
Oh, you're right.
Dryad Arbor with Township activation will kill him.
But he.
Oh no, he'll get a token. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And then.
There's
He'll
so much.
need
Yeah,
to,
okay, no, yeah.
yeah.
So there's a token to block. Depends on
Then
Josh.
the problem is,
yeah,
is
all
then
right.
he won't have the Jit equipped the next turn.
Yeah.
And then he'll be dead to his Bitter Blossom the next turn.
Right.
So.
He decides just to chump block both of them. Like it's a pretty safe play. I think that's the play I prefer the most. I still like the Jace first play, to then lead into that last turn where you need to have a connect off the Jace, or I mean off the GT. Now there's 2 GTs in his hand. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, all right, we are going for. I hope this is not a brainstorm.
no,
I do
no,
not
no.
like this. Yeah. Enrique Gasari. I mean, he has next turn, either this turn or next turn. That GT has to get counters, or Joe's dead. Joe does not have any way to blow up his own Bitter Blossom, correct? Looking at his deck list. I mean, I suppose that's another option.
No, I mean the only way he would have was Oblivion Ring, which he's already used.
Okay, so the Oblivion Ring is the only way to get rid of the Bitter Blossom. Slowly chipping away at him. Using the blue, so Jace can't come down now, and there's no more lands for him. Wow, I don't know. That's going to make this difficult.
Yeah, if he had played the Jace the earlier turn, then he could have used it to lead, and Jace bounce Pride Mage, get counters on my Jit.
Yeah, I mean, so the reason we're let's talk about this is that I think when determining what to do here, you have to start looking for your outs, and the first out you decide is GT must connect, right?
Yeah.
Oh, was that almost Dark? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And we know
Don't
there's not a land on the top of his deck, so.
Cannot play Dark Confidant on this part.
Yeah.
Okay, GT. It's fine. If I'm Josh, sure. Don't blow it up. Yep, Township. This is great. I think this is looking really bad for Joe now.
Yeah. Now I would
don't play
certainly
anything
rather be
blow up
Josh.
the GTA during combat next turn. I think that's, you know, but let Joe Bernal's Bitter Blossom do the work.
And he has lethal now. He can just swing everything sideways.
Yeah. So going back to our other line. Okay, this is actually just lethal on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it is swinging all out.
That's
All
it.
right,
Yeah.
congratulations, Joshua Snider defeating Joe Bernal 2-1 in a nail biter.
Yeah,
Joe
that was a
Bernal
good game.
getting his first loss of the tournament in the top 4. Joshua Snider moving to the finals. Maverick facing off now against Ryan Overturf, the other undefeated player.